Okay, everybody, this week on Don and Gary doing 60, tick tock, went the clock. Guess what? Turning 59 to 60. And Gary?
How's that feeling?
I'll tell you
Uh,
later.
and after that, I'm going to talk a little bit about a new journey that I'm on for 2024. If you follow me on social media, you'll know you'll already have a head start.
Not only that, we're going to see Gary's stump in a little while. Stay tuned.
Oh, now, Don. Everyone, and welcome to the first official episode of Don and Gary doing 60.
Don't forget.
I'm Gary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Are you? Are you sure? Okay.
I think I am.
Okay, well, yeah, you're Gary. I'm Don, and we're here to unwrap and unpack navigating the world at our age. Bum.
And what age is that, Don? I'm sorry.
We'll get back to that in a minute. I think that's going to be another topic. Well, so Gary, how was your week?
Well, let's see.
I know. In case anyone isn't understanding, audience, this is Gary showing us his stump. Please share with us why you're doing that.
I'm not giving you the bird, I swear. It is. No, well, Saturday night, I decided that I was going to break in my new mandolin.
Is that what you're calling it?
And I'm not talking about a musical instrument.
Or what else? Is there a euphemism for something else that could be mandolin?
But it broke me.
Oh, wow.
Really so I had a little incident. Yes, I read the instructions and I didn't follow them. And I got a cut on my finger and it wouldn't stop bleeding. So I took myself to the ER.
Did you not use a little piece that holds the vegetable? You didn't hold it, did you? You didn't use it.
Well, it wasn't grasping onto my zucchini. And that's not a euphemism.
Are we sure now? Because this show went a really left turn after what we started with your stump and your zucchini.
I had brunch with a friend of mine this morning, and he goes, how's your finger? He says, you'll probably not want to use a mandolin ever again. I said, well, I'm not too crazy about zucchinis anymore.
It's got me off all food. But wait,
But yeah, so, it was just a nick and it wouldn't stop bleeding. So they just bandage it up and here I am.
But did you use the little thing that grabs the vegetable that like prongs?
I tried to, but it wouldn't hold on to my zucchini. So I had to go rogue.
Okay.
But what this has taught me, even though it's a small injury, and this is just to keep it clean and, but try and maneuver without using your middle finger. It's a little challenging.
Listen, Linda. I understand. Believe me. I think it's actually something we don't consider at all. Like the little pieces of our lives that we don't understand. Like not the use of your thumb or your this finger. Yeah. So how is
finger?
Well, okay. Can you type?
Well, what happens when I type on the right hand, it's like having an extra fat finger. So I have to no, edit. So I end up using my forefinger to, so it's a little awkward. And then I was having a salad the other day just to grab the fork.
Yeah.
It was so I was grabbing a fork kind of oddly without trying to use my middle finger. It just was silly.
Was it like
this?
It was
silly. And then when I tried to wash my face or shower, I had to use what someone referred to as a finger condom.
This show has changed completely and drastically. I don't know where you are and who you are anymore.
I cut up a plastic bag and put it around my finger and then a rubber band around the base, which of course was cutting off the circulation to my finger.
Okay. What about a glove? What about a glove? Like a full-on glove? Would that work?
I didn't have no, but I had nothing to match my outfit.
Oh, you're full of it today.
So that was how my week started.
Wow.
And how did your week go so far?
It was actually really good. We had a great weekend. It was uh, full of walks in the morning and the afternoons. The weather's turned finally beautiful here at the beach, and it's like it's summer now because we had a lot of June gloom. I'm not sure if you had it up in the city or not recently, but it's
We were like in the 70s. It
okay.
was
Good,
clear
good,
and
good.
nice. And we had, Pride last weekend and we had
Oh
4th of
yeah,
July last week.
yeah.
Up until, of course, the night of 4th of July, then the fog came in. So the
Yeah, of
fireworks
course. Of
disappeared
course.
behind
They
the
never
clouds.
show up
So
on the 4th of July over
that's
there.
San Francisco for you.
Yeah, but it's weather's been great here. So bike rides, a lot of walking and doing stuff outside. Really, really enjoyable. I went to a 4th of July party, I guess you'd call it, kind of last weekend. So yeah, I mean, it was actually really fun. I bought a new computer because we need it because we're going to have amazing graphics. And with us going to YouTube, small campaign for us to go on YouTube, we need better equipment. I need better
Right.
equipment. So
Well, who doesn't?
at our age, we need good equipment.
Right?
We need a lot of good equipment and a
Yes.
lot of changes. So yeah, I bought a new computer that's going to support a lot of new graphics and fun things that we're going to put on the pod. So yeah, that was fun. I'm learning how to do that. It's keeping my mind stimulated. So yeah,
Cool.
it's other than that, work is work, work is work is work. So
Well, speaking of our age,
mm,
we called our podcast Don and Gary Doing 60.
yes,
Now, there could be a reference to how fast we're driving,
at times.
but at times. But actually, it refers to, yes, we are in our 60s, early 60s. So, my question to
Oh,
you
mm,
is when the midnight when you turned from
mm.
59 into 60, was that an easy transition for you? Or, I mean, had you made peace with it? Or,
It's a great question. I think a lot of our friends who are also where we are these days,
yeah,
who we will be asking to come on the pod and talk about it eventually. But we're going to talk about it today. So none of you are safe. We're all going to grab you and make you come on the pod like this. But I think it's interesting because, I've never been a big birthday fanatic. I mean, I know you talk about your birthday day, week, month, year, whatever, as soon as it hits.
well,
Yeah, but for me, it's like this is the first time that's actually clicked into something where it's like, okay, it's just a bloody number. It's just a number. Who cares? But now it's the first time where you start thinking about other things and you start thinking ahead and forward. So yeah, I heard a little click when it happened, and it's something that I don't even know if I'm comfortable about it, but I'm also very like interested to see what's next, to see what's coming, because I mean, luckily we're all in pretty decent health, which is of course the most important thing. And I think, I don't know, I think it's definitely something where I'm much more hyper aware of my age now and what that
Mhm.
means. And what that means is how well we take care of ourselves, how much sleep we're getting, exercise. So it's really geared around health, but also it's like I'm slowing down a little bit. I think I notice it physically a little bit. Things it's
Mhm.
a little harder to get up from sitting, being on your knees, and don't don't ask me why I'm on my knees. For whatever reason, I'm
Um,
on my knees. But okay, on the flip side, yesterday we trimmed a tree in the front yard. I climbed like a 12-foot ladder and was sawing
oh,
down a branch on the tree. So there's certain things like, okay, I haven't stopped doing anything, but I'm more aware of my body, I guess. I think
yeah,
that's the biggest takeaway I can get from it.
yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. I'm accepting it. I'm embracing it. I'm not denying it. I'm not going to telegraph it, but yeah. What about you? What about
No, well, no, because I was just back to you for a
you?
moment.
Oh,
Because we've known each other for so long.
yeah.
When you were younger, I know you, whether it was half joking or half serious, you'd always say, "Well, now that I'm in my 30s,"
Mm.
when you were clearly much older. So I didn't
Rude.
know.
Rude.
I, I'm not judging, but you did say one thing that it's just a number. And for me, that's how it's always felt. So
Yeah.
I've never had an issue. Sometimes after I think about it, how old am I? Oh, okay, I'm 61 right now. I'll be
Mm.
62 in a couple
Hmm.
months. So I think it's really how you feel. And I don't look at the number. I think when we were younger, like 40, oh my God, that's so old.
Yeah, yeah. Different
When we were
milestones.
kids, right?
Yeah.
But
When we were kids at
but
40,
no,
we were kids at 40, right?
no, we were like really
Well,
young, like maybe in
now.
grade school, and your teacher was 40
Oh,
years old.
oh,
You're
oh,
thinking, oh
oh.
my God, that's so
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
But now that we've been there, done that, and are past that, um, I don't feel bad about it. I figure it's everyone gets older.
Hmm.
It happens to all of us,
Hmm.
so it's not like it's just happening to me.
Yeah.
Um, but you're right. I am more aware of certain things. So, trying to stay healthy and eating the right things, and even like reference to the ladder. I have I have tall ceilings here, and I store some things up on top. So when I grab the ladder, I'm I'm being a little extra careful when I'm going up and going down on the
Yes.
ladder, just because I live alone, and something could happen, and so yeah, you take that into account.
Hmm.
Um, when I'm because I've allegedly had a couple times where I fell
In your
when I'm out
youth, in your
walking in my
youth,
youth. Yes, and I wasn't holding a cocktail, but I was. I tripped a couple times.
allegedly.
Um, so I'm much more aware when I'm walking.
Yep.
Not to like turn and look. Oh, look at that, and then I'm face down in the gutter as usual again.
Well,
But yeah, so I think just try to be more aware. Maybe slow down a little bit
yeah,
in terms of that, but I'm still very busy. I do still do a lot of
yeah,
volunteer work.
yeah.
I'm in a lot of meetings. I'm going a lot of places. I'm going to go see Mrs. Doubtfire tonight.
You're on the Broadway like conveyor belt because you were seeing a lot of things. You saw some things in the past too. Didn't you see Funny Lady too?
Well, for this year, I bought the whole season of tickets
Oh, okay.
because it seemed like it was a good lineup.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
MJ the musical, The Wiz,
yeah,
Funny
yeah,
Girl. I'm seeing Mrs. Doubtfire, and there's a couple more coming. So, yeah, I try keep the cultural
yeah,
mind
yeah.
going, and all my volunteer work is always really fun. So yeah, just trying to stay busy.
Yeah, and I think this topic that we're talking about right now is something we're going to explore in future episodes too, with different ideas behind them too, because I think there's a lot
Right,
more to this than just the click, tick, tock of the clock and the
right.
click into the 60 era, if you want.
Yeah.
The kids are saying the era now, so this is our 60s era.
Okay
So
then.
that's what the kids are saying.
Um, and then coming up in future episodes, I'm going to share, tied into that part of my journey that started at the end of last year, just trying to revisiting and focusing on health and making things better. So if you follow me on social media, I've started I guess it's a vlog
Yes, the kids are calling it a vlog.
that's called The Gary Chronicles: My Life in the Fast Lane, and talk about well, if you follow, if you know, you know.
And you should
But I'll be
know
sharing
because you
some,
should follow.
yeah, right. But you will every 2 weeks I'll be posting on that. So I'll be posting again this week, and just following me along on the journey
And
and
Gary, do
sharing
you want
some
to share
information.
that social media that you're on so people can follow it?
Oh, so it's both on Instagram and
And
Facebook.
what's it called?
Uh,
What's your
well,
Instagram
it's
called?
under my regular post, but I happen to call it. It's under my name, but I start each post of those with the title, "The Gary Chronicles: My Life in the Fast Lane," and then I have a little subtitle.
Okay. Do you want to talk
So,
about what prompted that?
sure, it was last year. I'm not one to make New Year's resolutions,
Mm,
never have,
yeah.
but it was one of those things. Is like, I know I need to lose weight. I know to keep to stay
Don't
active,
we all?
and no one else is going to do it for me.
Mm,
So the very beginning of January, and we have a gym where I live, so I try to be more regular and consistent on that. And then I went to see my primary care doctor in March, with the intent of, gee, there's a lot of talk about Ozempic, Wegovy, all these other weight loss
yep.
medications. That Ozempic originally was meant for people with diabetes, which I have diabetes too.
Mm,
One of the side effects of it, if you will, is that you lose weight. Now, Hollywood, of course, took it by storm, and I need to lose 40 pounds for my next film or my
yeah.
next show.
Yeah.
So they would do it.
Yeah.
So it became like overexposed. And there's a lot of information out there. And it was very confusing because I kept seeing and reading conflicting information.
Yeah.
So when I met with my primary care doctor, I said, can we have the Ozempic conversation? And he said, yeah, but I'm going to send you to an endocrinologist first. So that's what I did, and then I will continue
Yeah.
my Gary Chronicles
Okay.
in another episode.
Okay. Well, I think it's thank you for sharing that because I think it's important to share what you're comfortable with at whatever place you
Yeah,
want
for
to share it. But I
sure.
think it's interesting just quickly on the Ozempic discussion too, because it's taken Hollywood by storm. And there's a lot, you can actually see many, many celebrities and Hollywood figures talking about the drug itself. And it's
Yeah.
interesting where it took a turn because there's actually quite a bit of pushback on it now, because originally, as you said, the drug was meant for people with diabetes, to treat diabetes. It was not
Right.
meant to be, as you said, a weight loss drug. And
Exactly.
it kind of took off where, you see Kelly Osbourne or whoever talking about it. She looks like a skeleton right now.
I've not seen
Well,
her,
you
but yeah,
don't
I
want to
know
see her because, well,
her.
I hope she's not listening. Love you, Kelly. The thing is though that I think it's kind of taken over as a replacement for exercise or for
Right.
dieting or whatever venue you take to try and stay healthy. And it's unfortunate
Yeah.
that it went that way because it turned into some like a miracle drug for people. And I also heard that the supplies were short at certain times.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There was a time where you couldn't find it anywhere. It
Yeah,
just wasn't available
yeah,
because doctors would prescribe it to anyone and their mother.
yeah.
Um, and anyway, so but I will say, funny is that they give you a pen where you do your self injections. So I finished my first pen,
Mm.
Ozempic pen, with last week's injection. So I thought, well, I have to hold on to it as a memento. So as some of you may know, I have a year round holiday
Oh,
tree
we know.
that's over here to my left, a silver tree, and
Maybe you could share though its place of honor and the story around it real quick, if you don't mind. Like,
I was in Palm
mm,
Springs many years ago. I met up with you and walking in one of the stores during the holidays. They had one on display. Like, silver tree. I had one when I was a kid. Do you sell these? Yes, we do. So I bought it.
yeah,
But it's the type where you have to insert every single frickin' branch.
right.
And after the first time, I said, I'm not taking this apart and then putting it back together again. There's too much of a pain in the ass. So it has been up for, I don't know. We went to Palm Springs that year. That was like 2016, 2018.
Gosh,
So
yeah.
it's been like 6, 8 years. So to commemorate my 20-year anniversary of buying my condo this year, I had a party and I told people, bring an ornament to hang on my tree.
Right.
So some people did. So going back to the Zempic pen and the box that it came in, I put them on the tree. I took a photo of each and I posted it on Instagram and Facebook.
Hmm.
Within seconds, literally seconds of posting it, Facebook took it off and said, we removed your posts. It looks like you tried to buy, sell, or exchange items that governments have restricted or banned.
Okay.
This goes against our community standards. I go, it was a picture of a Ozempic pen and a Ozempic
How
box,
did
but
did you put
apparently,
Ozempic in the text? Was that did you write that the word Ozempic in there,
um,
or did they just see a
no,
picture?
I put some new additions on my tree, and then the initials for "if you know, you know," and there's just the
Oh,
two images.
wow.
But literally, just it
Yeah,
went
that's
away.
so strange because it's like it's some. I would see maybe if you had the texted the word or put text Ozempic in your texting when you're putting the message out, that would be one thing. But maybe it's the photo of it, because that's strange that they caught it so quickly.
But the thing is, from being on social media
Yeah.
that you get commercials and ads all the time,
Hmm.
and it's this, or similar weight loss pen or weight loss medication or the damn gummies that are every other
Ugh,
commercial is the
yeah.
gummies.
Yeah.
So those aren't being banned, but whatever.
Did you
So
cry? Did you cry when they took it down?
no, but I took a picture of that thing and I posted it again. Like, look what they
And
did.
they didn't stop that, right? So that actually went through.
No,
It stayed up.
no.
It's still up, supposedly. Okay.
It's just me doing this to them.
Well, I have to say it's good to be back. I'm excited. I was nervous.
Yes.
I was actually a little nervous about pressing the record button because it's been a while since we tried this again.
Wait, you pressed it, right? Are we
I don't
recording?
know. Is this
Are
on?
we on?
Is that on? Can you hear? Okay. Yeah, I think it's on. But sorry, I'm blowing on the. Never
All
mind. Never
nervous.
mind. We're not going there. But no, it's a little like, okay. I'm excited. We're back doing this again. I'm excited that we're going to be talking about specific stuff now. This is a little different than the other podcast, but it's like a little more geared towards our lives specifically, and in this era of what we're doing.
Yes, and where we are now and what
Exactly.
we look what we can look forward to.
Yeah.
And, as Don mentioned, we'd love to have some guests on to
Yep.
share their stories.
Yep.
So there's a couple different ways you can get a hold of us.
Yes.
You can, if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you can ping us that way, or you can email us at, are we ready?
Yes. Go.
Don and, written out, Don and Gary, Doin60 at gmail.com.
That's very
Which
exciting.
reminds me, I need to check that email see if we've got any fan mail
And
yet.
as Gary said, you can DM us. That's what the kids are saying. DM.
Right.
DM or ping us. That's Gary said.
You can damn us.
You can DM
What?
ping us. Ping us. That's what the kids are not saying. So DM us at Instagram on Don and Gary doing 60. I'll place that on our editing. Wait till the graphics show up after the edit. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be
exciting.
Very exciting. And I'm excited to actually hear where your story's going with this. It's great. I don't want to say brave because that's kind of an overused word too, but I'm happy that you're comfortable sharing this with us, with everyone, because I'm interested to see how you're doing. Of course, we've been friends for such a long time. I'm concerned for your health. I'm glad you're doing something. It's interesting and fascinating to see how it rolls and how it goes for the next few months and years, I guess. I'm not sure how the treatment works, but I'm sure it's going to be for the next few months at least. And
it'll be kind of a what lifetime, I don't know. I think when you get to a certain point where you're comfortable weight wise, then you continue taking it, but it's just for maintenance.
Okay.
So I start at a very low dosage, they are building it up, and at some point it will probably come down and stay at that level.
And no side effects. You've been doing fine, right?
No. Good. I think because they started me very low dosage, they said, well, there's nausea, there's this or that. I haven't had any issues at all. So I will see my endocrinologist. How many people can say that? I will see my endocrinologist again tomorrow.
I can't say it.
It's a big word.
Endocrinologist.
I say my doctor.
See your doctor. Doctor.
I will see her tomorrow, and then we'll see. Do we bump up my dosage again, or where we are?
Okay.
But in the first 20 days, without making any changes, I'll talk about like diet change and stuff, but without making any changes, the first 20 days I was down 10 pounds.
Wow.
So I think as they up the dosage and then implementing the new changes, we should see some more results.
Well,
but I'm glad it's kind of low and slow.
Mm-hmm. I know him.
Progress, because you don't want to. I'll go back to the gummies again. I eat this gummy and I lost 18 pounds last week. It's like, that's
lies.
That's not good.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, I'm going to take a quick break. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what's coming in the next season. Okay.
Cool.
You going to stick around? You going to be here when I get back?
Yeah, can we hurry though? I've got a show to see.
Oh, so calm down, sir. So Gary.
Yeah.
We've been telling each other stories for a number of years now, and I think we've been telling each other the same stories or some version of the same stories for a long, long time. And our friends' stories too, right? And I bet you our friends have some stories they'd like to tell us.
I was going to say, you're probably tired of hearing my stories, so you want to hear new, fresh stories.
A little bit.
Is that it?
A little bit.
A little bit. Well, you think about at least the friends that I hang out with here locally, they're all about the same age as us. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they have war stories, probably some funny stories, some serious stories. We talk about, topics from A to Z. Yeah. So what I'd like to see is maybe a segment periodically where we invite a guest or two on and talk about, just let them run of the mouth.
And advantageously enough as it comes to us, Gary actually did come up with a name for this segment. Gary, what's it called?
Well,
you did. It was you. It was you.
I did. Yes, it was me. No, I thought, they probably, the younger kids don't want to hear that stuff. They don't have time for that. So that led into the segment being called Growing Older. Anybody got time for that?
Okay. So everyone, that's what our segment is going to be called. And what it is basically, we're all of a certain age and we want to know how your story's going, whatever that story might be. It could be something silly. It could be something serious. It's all your journey, as the kids call it. So if you have something to share and you want to join us on a future episode, we would love to hear from you. And we'd love to hear whether it's how you're coping with aging. Gary, what else? It's like whether if you're struggling with aging, are you having funny stories about aging?
Right. Challenges. It could be advice for your younger self.
Yeah.
It could be really anything. It's pretty open to what you want to talk about.
And I know I do a
But
lot of comparisons to what the kids are saying and how they're talking these days. So now we are becoming our parents who are saying, those darn kids, they don't know what they're talking about. And actually, we don't know what they're talking about. So
we don't know what they're talking about. So in order for you to get a hold of us, you can email us at donandgarydoin60@gmail.com. Or just ping us via social media.
yes,
Either
you
one
can
of
DM
us.
us on our Instagram page, which is Don and Gary doing 60. And I'll make sure we put the text up there underneath us during this little promo that we're talking about. So
Right.
I guess we're looking forward to hearing from you, and don't think we're not going to come and find you ourselves, because some of you say you're bashful, but I bet you once we pry you with whatever it means it takes, either liquor, threats, whatever it takes,
We know where you live.
you live. So we look forward to hearing from you. We really want to hear your stories, how you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with, or a great anecdote about what your life is doing like right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
So come, join us. It'll be fun.
Don and Gary doing 60. Are you doing 60, Gary?
Oh, I've been doing 60 for a couple of years now.
I don't know 60. Okay, never mind. Bye.
So coming up in future episodes, we'll be talking about such things as, and we're going to call it under the umbrella of At Our Age.
Gary's idea again. Gary came up with this idea, so take credit for it.
Well, I will.
You're so
okay,
smart.
Yes, it was my idea. I thought I was the pretty one.
Well,
but we'll be talking about such things as making new friends. Is that easier or more difficult as one gets older?
Yep.
One thing that's on our minds coming up in the next couple of years, retirement.
Yes.
When does that happen? What does that look like? And so other topics similar to that we'll put under the umbrella of At Our Age.
Yep.
As I mentioned earlier, I'll share a little bit here and there about my journey, on my O journey. And if you want to follow me personally on Instagram, it's just my first and last name. So Gary Pigaris, and Don will spell it out for you on the screen.
With the magic of our new Technicolor technical skills. Yeah, that's it.
Sure, why not?
Okay,
Let's go with that. And then we do have both an Instagram and Facebook account with Don and Gary doing 60.
Yep.
So you can follow us there. And where else can they
Well,
find
actually,
us,
if you want to know everything all about us on every single aspect, you can actually go to the top of our Instagram page, and it's called, there's a little tab there which you hit called Linktree Pfeiffer Podcast Productions, which is basically how you find all of our socials there. And that's probably the easiest way to find us. If you just click on that, it takes you to Gary's page, my page, the YouTube pages, which is, by the way, another aspect of our podcast. You'll be able to see us on YouTube soon. And it'll also take you to our individual, as I said, our individual podcast place, plus our YouTube page and our Facebook page. So that's the place to find everything at all you ever wanted to know and things you didn't want to know about us. So I have to go there. Linktree, Pfeiffer Podcast Productions.
That's a mouthful.
Isn't it? It's kind of fancy too.
It's very fancy.
So are we ready to shut this one down? Can we put it in the can?
I think we are.
Put it in the can.
So put it in the can, and we'll be back. I don't know.
We'll get back. So thanks for joining us, doing Don and Gary doing 60. You can find us wherever you pod, all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube, as I mentioned before. Please like and subscribe.
And let us know if you want to join us as a guest.
Don't worry. We've got a promo video coming, which is inviting you blatantly to come and join us because we think it'd be a lot of fun, actually. So we hope you'll lose your inhibitions. Gary's come up with some really great questions that we're going to ask everybody. And also, we'd love to just hear what you have to say because we're here talking about it. So we'd actually know that you will have some pretty good stories out there, too. So we're looking forward to you joining us and sharing because we know you're not shy. Gary's a little shy.
No, not at all. Just at first.
Okay, so we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.